Hey everyone, this is Tom from MonTac here, and we are back at it again for the Titan Cup. This is the grand final between Crystic from Canada and Diamond Deploy from the United States. They have brought what I will be, obviously we know what they're playing at this point. Diamond Deploy is on Dark Planet, Crystic is on Sky Soldier Removal. Joining me this evening, we have got Mini Smoke from Brazil, former champion, looking to rise up the ranks this season. How are you feeling, sir? And do you have any predictions for what this match could end up looking like?
Hello Tom and hello everyone. So finally they are meeting together on the final. Two very impressive players in different play styles. Crystic more on the creative side and Diamond on the more strategic guy. So we'll see which style will be settled today. So pretty interesting, I would say.
100%, and we've got Prisoner 34 right off the bat, getting those cards for Diamond. Now, of course, Dark Planet being at this level of the competition is so unusual. We'll just have to see. I mean, if he can get this win, this will be the first major event Dark Planet's ever won, and of course, I wouldn't be counting the Century FTK from Misfire. But this would be like the first ever proper Dark Planet deck to actually do well in a tournament setting, or I guess in a high level event setting.
Totally. Now, the thing here is that Sky Sentry, right? The last synergy Dark Planet, like he's very good on late game because if Crystic can only rely on asset pile, he can pop 2 asset monsters. So pretty good on its own, and we might see if Crystic will waste all of his resources by the time reaches.
So definitely a bit of a. You would never see this in the old format, but luckily we're playing in the new format. But we've got a Diamond Deploy with nothing on board. We'll have to see if Crystic has any sort of ability to get a bit of damage through this turn, but that remains to be seen.
Oh, okay. So Crystic just passed the turn without doing. Oh no! Right now it's Crystic turn. Okay.
Yep. They've just rised, so they're just looking to choose and see what they can play.
And
passing it over now
without doing anything.
So that might be a cooldown. Black King's Rebirth. Yep. They're going to then draw a card. Now we're going to go into the rise. So again, a very chill game to start. Now we're going to go. Also, it looks like infantry is occurring in cooldown as well. We'll have to see how this plays out. Going to grab this. He can't use Titan yet, but he will be able to on the next turn potentially. Oh no, sorry, Titan's class 3 now, isn't it? So no, definitely can't use that yet either.
Yeah,
we'll have to wait a little while for that one.
Yeah, I think the plan for Crystic here is to wait until sudden death to play this Sky Warfare because it is a class 6 tactical. So
here we go. We're going to go with Dark Planet Sentence, and he is popping off, sending the Prisoner to the Perish Pile. Allow him to play a card from deck or hand, and then he also gets to choose the actual payoff from Dark Planet Sentence as well. Let's have a look. So it looks like he's going to add 1 to 3 Dark Planet cards from the deck to their hand, going for a Sentence, a Doomsday, and then a Prisoner 45. Alright, getting rid of that.
Basic setup for Dark Planet, so we might be
100%
being a chill game until sudden death.
Prisoner 93, so they're going to go secondary Sentence. That's going to allow them to play out another card. It's going to give them out Water. Water's going to gain 500 for each prisoner in the Perish Pile. So currently they're going to have 4. So we're probably looking at a 2k boost. So that's a 3600 Water, and they're going to add a further 3 cards from Dark Planet cards to hand. I'd say Dark Planet's going to be one of the most consistent decks out there. It's just about making the most impact with them.
Yes, indeed. The 93 is a very good consistent tool here to play it out.
100%.
Higher classes monsters, so we might be seeing going for 2 damage here.
Actually, that's a great point. I just realized that's going to be 4100 because all Otherworld gain 500 while that Prisoner 45 is in play. That's going to deal 2 damage, so it's a great start for Diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Something that Diamond has expressed concern over is handling board wipes for Dark Planet, whether they can survive. I think it's a really good point, especially because Dark Planet is already so wasteful, as we've already seen. It's going to be tough. Oh, what is that? I think that's weird. Oh no, it's a mistake. Okay, cool. That was that was like what? No. Tactical support, great card. We saw that use such devastating effect in the previous game against Crimson. Especially that use with fast track has just been incredibly good. I have to see though how that all plays out. Tactical support is going to sacrifice itself to gain, looks like 4 health points. Quite useful.
Okay, I think, yeah, Crystic will just try to survive here and not being seeing much action.
Ooh, Diamond gets the ability to go into Titan now. That will help him with some health point gain. And Infantry to also grab back that Titan, which will allow him to do it again. This keeps the health points even, allows him to definitely just smash apart at Crystic's health points here.
Wait, does Diamond got the second attack from Prisoner 45?
I don't know if Prisoner 45 does. Pretty sure it's only after it perishes. Yeah, but Prometheus hits the field now, so no real threat to Crystic perishing this turn, but they are going to take at least 3 points of damage, it looks. Yeah, okay, looking good though. Diamond's looking very strong at the moment. That Black King's at 3000. It also prevents enemies from using tacticals when it makes an attack. It also has its power double when it takes on an enemy with a higher original power. Not to mention, in the event that Crystic does board wipe it, Diamond can choose to replay Prometheus on the following turn thanks to Black King's Rebirth. So that's a lot of positivity there.
Yeah, very good that Diamond always set up the cards on the field to remember the activations.
Always a good idea, yeah. Okay. So Crystic now at 4 health points.
Still not okay. Playing. Let us see, Crystic.
Okay, so they're going to go with a Impact Reinforcement. So unfortunately, this is one of those combos that we have yet to fix with the new format. It is made possible through the use of Impact Shield, as we're about to see hit field. This will be amended after the event, but obviously due to this being illegal at the beginning, we have opted to not fix it until afterwards. This is going to be ridiculous a little bit, but we'll have to just enjoy it while it's here.
Yeah, it will be another piece in MonTac history. Lost
100%, one of the wackiest.
Lost like tears in the rain.
Now, basically how this works is that Impact Reinforcement plays out an Impact card, allows you to draw 2 cards, and then adds itself back to your hand. Then because you're playing an Impact Shield, the shield shuffles itself back, and then you can redo it again. Obviously, you only do this twice per turn, but it's basically a free draw 2 every turn, which is what's made it quite a scary combo. Reason why this even exists is honestly complete accident. We built Impact Shield to have the ability to shuffle itself back because we thought it could brick. And unfortunately, we did not get the tie-in between Impact Reinforcement and Impact Shield. They weren't even released together, actually. Impact Reinforcement is a much earlier support card, and Impact Shield was released a lot later to support, and it just so happens they combo like this. So, yeah, definitely very useful.
I think the problem here is that those two have very generic effects, and you can play it at any deck. So if it was tied to only Impact cards, so it wouldn't be such a big problem I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
yeah. So let's see if a Crystic will have big plays
Crystic.
happening here.
Yeah, and also hats off to Crystic. I mean, he is just finding so many of these crazy combinations. It really just goes to show that there's so much more to the game of MonTac that's left to discover. All these different combinations that can be used. It's just lying in wait for someone to pick them up. Star hand to go now. It looks like they're going to add the full 5, so basically they can add the 5 cards from the deck to their hand, but for each card added, Diamond's going to gain a health, and because they've gained 5 here, it looks like Crystic is going the full 5. How do you feel about Starhand in the current meta here, Mini? Especially how much health it gives?
I think it's a fair card because there's a lot of stuff that you can play out to destroy on the opponent's field, so the trade-off is having consistency instead of having your constants on field all the time. So if Crystic plays Starlit Wrath, Starlit Serenity, or Cliffhang City, any of those constant cards, he can pay 4 to destroy it. So I think not limits, but you have to think about balancing Starhand and constants on your deck. So for 5, the last
Diamond might actually go to the max of 15 here if Crystic decides to go for a double Starhand. You definitely wouldn't play Starhand if you're running constant tacticals, just because of the fact that your enemy can sack the 4 for them. But in this case, it seems to be Crystic kind of focusing on the end game much more than a quick win. So I think Diamond's in a good spot that if he can continue pressuring Crystic, it might be more and more difficult. I'm not sure on Crystic's ability to continually gain health, but I guess they're going to use tactical support. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Something I will say is really good about Black King Prometheus is that False Ruler doesn't really do a lot. So the only way that False Ruler can kill it is if Black King attacks it, because then it can pop it because of Rebellion Breaker being triggered, and that technically is a specialty given to Black King Prometheus. But other than that, I mean, False Ruler is going to have a bit of trouble dealing with this board. I guess they can pop Water of the Dark Planet because it's a Wyland play.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Totally okay. Okay, so we're going to Diamond's turn here, so will Crystic can handle until sudden death? That's the main question here. Okay, I don't think that will be lethal here, but being at 1 health can...
Taking 1 all the way down. Jeepers. Now, of course, this looks pretty bad for Crystic, but you have to keep in mind this game is more than just about health. It is about resources, and Crystic is fully stocked up with quite a large hand now as we reach the 8th turn of the game. We're going to have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean, in this game where you have only 30 cards on deck, and after sudden death, you can play any of your cards. One singular card can really make the difference between losing and winning here. So that's the
100%.
real battle here.
100%. I feel like Diamond's still playing well, but he needs to get a bit more value out of that Black King because he is 8 cards in the hole in that Perish pile. He's going to need to start making some pluses. Crystic looking to continue that impact loop now. Alright. Other cards that are potentially being looked at is also Sky Soldier's Warfare. Potentially could be becoming once per copy as well, so we'll have to see how big a role that plays in the current game, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's news for me. So yeah, I think it is a pretty interesting change to do it once per copy, so it avoids being recycled and reused and board wiped. So, okay, Scythe. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Scythe, however you want to do it.
Okay.
Now,
Yes,
here's a really interesting combination. Yes. So we're going to go into the water. And this is such a great time to special move water because typically that sleeper skill will be incredibly useful in reviving a dark planet. But unfortunately, to do that revival, you have to have an open space. Diamond does not, so that is incredibly good timing. What we've just witnessed here is a Scythe Specialty Flush combo. Two cards that aren't remotely related to each other, but basically what Scythe does is it shuffles itself and one of the cards from your hand back into your deck, and then you can use that to trigger the Specialty Flush that when it's shuffled back into your deck, it removes the specialty of an enemy monster, which is what's happened there to counteract that Water of the Dark Planet. And then we go into Impact Reinforcement once again. It's very interesting.
Okay, drawing even more cards here. I think will be. I think that there will be still 3 more uses of reinforcement with shield. So, and by the time until then Crystic will have all of his deck in his hand. So he can finally start doing big plays here.
Can I just say though, Ruler's Karma would do so well here. Basically, it just requires your enemy to have, I think it's more cards in hand than you, or it's like 6 or more cards in hand.
No,
and
it is 7 or more.
Is it 7 or more? Okay.
Yes.
Let me have a quick look. But that would be absolutely cooking here in a deck. Let me just see that now. 7 or more cards in their hands. So basically, Crystic would be getting. They could either actually get a monster popped through use of Ruler's Karma here, or you could discard a card and then your enemy discards 2 cards from their hand and reveals their hand to the current turn. So Ruler's Karma looks really good in this kind of format. But we'll see.
Yeah,
there is also Impervious Gemini.
I think what sets it apart is that the fact on sudden death, you are forced to draw your 5 cards in your rise pile, so guaranteed with at least 10 cards in hand. So Ruler's Karma will be active. Yeah.
Makes it actually quite a good card to put it in for your class rise zone with that in idea, especially if you're the first if you go first, if you're taking the first turn of sudden death and your enemy can't get rid of their cards quick enough, you could Ruler's Karma quite easily. Okay, so we're going to go with a War Gear here to specially move the tactical support, stopping it from activating its ability to sacrifice itself, so that's quite clever.
Okay.
So it's going to add 1,000 to one of their cards. I think also many you're probably starting to see now just the advantage of those Cataclysms being now only just any synergy in play and Prometheus now counting as a synergy. How do you feel about that and like the ability to just customize so much more now?
I mean, I think it's a really good change because some of the times you don't really find a good moment to use your Tacticalism. So being able to use on, how can I call it, the defensive synergies, the ones that you have to pitch stuff and they don't have a timer. So
okay. Now, additionally, everybody, Felt is working off the original where it actually selected. It basically can shuffle itself back into the deck to then play one other copy. So that is something to be aware of. They are going to be using the old version. Yeah, a lot of weird stuff.
Okay. Oh, I think Diamond can still play Rebirth, even with Felt Rummaging, because the effect of Revival, it is attached to the monster, not the tactical.
Yeah, it won't stop it.
So, I mean, he could play for the shuffle and draw 1.
Yes, but I don't think it's actually going to matter.
Okay, Star Striker can only pop. Okay, popping Barter, so very good. Popping here from Crystic, setting up the pops and Bard wipes here. I think really
100%.
is that he hasn't played the Rocketeer for Sky Warfare conditions to set it up a full Bard wipe. So
Yeah, good point.
there's still no Bard wipes available for Crystic here. I mean, at this point, he probably has Rocketeer because of Starhand and stuff like that, and all the constant drawing from impact cards. So, okay, pretty interesting turn from Crystic, finally showing his tricks on sleeve. So, will Diamond can finish the game here, or it's just a far-fetched idea? We might see it.
Yeah, I think Diamond's in a really good spot to take out. Ooh, Jeepers, that's good. Okay. Starstriker Mistress is going to be in trouble here. We've got Joe the Dark Planet. Basically, blow up one of your own Dark Planet to blow up 2 enemy monsters. I imagine he just kills that 45 and just blows up the board. Something that we definitely learned. Oh, and also conditions. The conditions mini.
Oh.
What conditions will he have? I don't think he has any conditions. This could be it.
No,
this could be the end of the match.
Oh, you mean for Crystic?
Yeah, for Crystic. Like, what does Crystic have to protect? Because if he blows up both, what does Crystic have in their asset pile that can be played? I'm not sure if they... We'll have to double check and see if they've got any Elders or any cards that can be played. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, there's Lamia. I mean, if he hasn't changed it from last game, has Synergy Lamia, Synergy Wolfman.
Yeah.
I think it's not Quetzal, or it is. I think it's General Quetzal to get Leo, because I remember he had Leo.
Okay. This probably will not be the end of the game, but it definitely is very scary for Crystic. It's going to force him to do something that he probably doesn't want to do at the moment. But it's great that Diamond's pushing this out of him. I think this is very interesting.
I think Crystic still has defensive synergy here for no conditions.
Yeah, I think he does as well.
You might see it Clytus, if I remember correctly.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Still waiting to see what they're going to do. We've got 2 monsters on board, 2 attacks. Crystic dies if they let either one through. Going for game. Could this be the end of the match?
Of course not.
You never know, honestly. Okay. And Clytus hits the field.
Okay, as I predicted.
Now, Crystic's going to send something here, so let's see what he ends up picking. I'm very interested to see what the choice will be. Also, something to be aware of is that Black King's Rebirth has now gone back to Diamond Coach pile, so any sort of weird awfulness that could have been is now gone. Very interesting. Okay, getting rid of the Warfare. Interesting. So, getting rid of the Warfare, it looks like he's probably going to try and discard the Wolfman next turn. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes.
I think right now, let's see if we remember that Sky Warfare isn't on Parish when Crystic brought back with Ruby Blessing or Calculated Gambit. So let's see if we remembers our conditions here.
We've got Diamond. Diamond surely makes some sort of attack. There we go, attacking over now, much bigger than Clytus. Now, of course, the advantage of Clytus is... Oh!
Oh, I think.
That seems like that's a bit late. I would argue that seems a bit late, especially since an attack has now been declared.
Wait.
But
Can I
I mean, it's
ask
up to
if it is before conflict attack declaration or?
I'm gonna let this kind of play out. I think we just leave it and just see what Galicia does. It might be that they've declared before conflict, but it's their call. I think because he's made the attack that they should ignore it, but it depends. Galicia's the judge here, so he can make that decision and see how things go.
Okay, let's see
trust
if
he'll make the right call here.
either of them perishes, because we'll be signaling that the attack was declared.
I think they're probably going to let Crystic actually play it, or they're debating whether they allow it. It looks like they might be asking us if they're not quite sure.
Okay.
I'm thinking on the ruling, so they're probably thinking on whether they will. I would say if you want to, if you want to text them back saying that when you play a monster has to be right after it's been played, it can't be after further game action has occurred. Unfortunately, I can't type because I'm recording the screen. But that would be how I rule it. It then just comes down to whether they, it just comes down to whether they want to say it's after it's been played and before conflict, or they want to say it's too late. It's up to them. Let's see what he says. Clytus has already resolved. He can still technically play it. If it's just he added a card, yes. And then you can still play. He's still telling him that.
Oh, I think die on arrival is used.
Oh, it was added. That's a good question. It technically was available to be played at the time. Interesting. I don't know. Is Dire? It depends if Die on Arrival was the card added. If it was not the card added, I would say it's. I mean, I'm tempted to say it's fine.
So it was played before attack declaration.
Okay. Yeah, Galicia's cool. I'm happy with either option. See what happens. Alright, so, Dire Rival. Collider's going. Let's see, for Blackpink, Prometheus. See how this plays out. Looks like they're going to say no. Interesting. I think that was the right call. Alright, Black King for me is looking to take up Clyde. Clyde is going to play a Tribal Hammer. Ooh, that's going to be nasty for Diamond. I don't know if he has 2 red diamonds he can just throw away for Black King again. Oh, that is brutal.
Oh, actually it is Crystic that has those 2 impact cards.
Yeah,
I mean, he
and
could
they'd like
send
to be
it.
in hand too.
He could send it Royal Blessing. I don't think Diamond runs Ruby Blessing. So yeah.
So that is going to bounce it back. So it does allow Diamond to retarget with the Jailer to clear that Clytus, but we'll see. Oh, hold on. Why is it power buffed? Is it 2500? Oh, because Tribal Hammer gives 1000. So now it is actually too big for Jailer. Interesting. Going to cooldown. Okay, great play there from Crystic. I think he's really done a great job to manage that situation. But now, yeah, Diamond's definitely starting to run out of resources here. Okay, impact reinforcement.
Wait, did it hit Rise? Rise?
Yeah, he might have to rise there. I think he does actually. Good point. He
So-
realized. Cool. Yeah, he's gonna have to rise with something. He will get it back on the following turn, so it's not too big of a loss. Whatever you have to pick. Gonna go Rocketer. This is probably gonna send a Wolfman to get the Northern Air General online. I think now Crystic has found a way to kind of survive. If this had, if he didn't set that up by now, on the next turn it would have been over. So this is a good play, and they're going to put in Heartwing. Cool. Okay. Lovely to see that. And what else are they sending? Something. Oh, okay. So they're going to duplicate it just to keep track. Cool. So if he wants to, he can actually get those back on the following turn. We'll see that. Rocket is gone.
Yep. For him to set up those, I think he'll be playing on his next turn. So, he can still. Now he has conditions for Lamia, so he can play it before Wolfman. It's replayed to get its specialty. But I mean, he can still get the specialty from the Heartwing.
Reinforcement triggering again.
Okay, we'll be drawing 3.
Gonna hit Snide. Snide is going to shuffle back stuff. That can also specialty flush as well. Flush can only be used, I think it's only 4 times per game, so he's gonna have to choose the perfect times to do that. Reinforcement triggering.
Oh, I see. I think he used Knife to shuffle back a shield without using its specialty, so he can use reinforcement 2 times this turn.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. So we got Colitis.
So he indeed didn't draw his shield back, so he can use reinforcement again. Okay. We'll be trying his entire deck now.
Diamond is in a bit of a tough spot here. Unless he could find a way to get rid of some of those cards in hand, I think Crystic has got a very good hold on this match.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Sentry doesn't have native protection against board wipes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're right.
You might see it. How this game will finish
now. Yeah. Okay, Jail Dark Planet, specialty removal. Yep. So that is only, I think it's only 4 times per game. So that is the second flush of the game. Only 2 more can occur. We'll just have to see how things play out. Okay.
We'll see if Crystic will attack or will just pass.
I don't know. Crystic, I guess there's no reason Crystic can't attack. Or shouldn't attack, I guess.
Can at least force something from Diamond here. Oh, it's not.
Yeah, passing it over. Decides not to attack. Interesting choice.
No.
Yeah.
Sudden death. Everything.
Yeah, sudden death. Everyone gets their cards back. This is the big moment. So Crystic's hand is about to get even bigger, which is just ridiculous. It looks like there might be something on cooldown though, so that's important. And we're going to go for a Clytus.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
Clytus on cooldown.
Interesting choice. So that's going to allow them to search for a card. They also have to send, so they're going to send an infantry. Okay. And that allows them to search for their main deck, add any card from deck to hand. I wonder what they're going to go... Oh, okay, so they're going to grab a Plasma Hand Cannon and use that, which allows them to send an Otherworld type monster, so on the next turn they can play it. So they're going to send a 12. That will allow them to shuffle back a Dark Planet basic monster with a different name, so that actually can shuffle back, I imagine it's water.
I think it'll be water.
Yeah, it's water. So water has gone back, and then that they take their turn, they refill with the class rise, and Prisoner 12 is actually going to be in play with double stat line at 2k, plus another 500, it's going to be 2500, the Prisoner 12. But additionally, that'll also make the Jailer 2950, which is bigger than Clytus. So, good play here from Diamond.
Okay, now
also, there's going to be a boost. Jeepers. So that's going to be a very big boy. So he's going to go up to... He's actually going to be 3550. Really. I wonder if he's realizes it's actually a 500 boost. Can you send just a reminder that Prisoner 12 is a 500 boost to all Otherworld?
I think it got from Plasma Hand doubling and then gaining 1,000, so it goes through. I mean, does Plasma Hand or Prisoner 45 triggers first? That really depends.
It would probably be... I guess it's a good point. Oh, jeepers creepers. This is weird.
Can I
think what's happened is he's been played at 2k because he's doubled, and then they've given him 1,000 plus additional attack. I think they need to add in the 500 that Prisoner 12 actually gives to all Otherworld. Oh, hold on, this wildcard. This is all Otherworld, so it includes itself. So it should be 3,500 with 2 attacks. You can let them know if you want.
Oh no! I think Prisoner 45 is just in play to remind Diamond about their next play.
I guess the idea is it's 1,500 from its own specialty and then double due to Plasma Hand Cannon. Is that the idea, perhaps?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I don't know how I feel about it being 3k. I feel like it probably should only be 2k, but it's a bit of a weird one for now.
I think either way it will be at 3,000 because if he Prisoner triggers first,
it'll be 25 there. It's 25 versus 3k. It's either he's going to be 2k plus 500 boost, or it's going to be he's 1,500 when he comes in and then he gets double for 3k.
But Prisoner 45 isn't in play.
Sorry, Prisoner 12. So Prisoner 12 has a 500 boost to all Otherworld types.
Okay.
So, maybe I used the wrong name there. Yeah.
Sorry.
So, it looks like he's dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be aware of. That comes into play. Now, Clytus no longer can protect things. And also because of Parachute especially, they can revive another card. So that's actually Prisoner 12 putting in some work here. Star Striker's at 24. So either way, Star Striker would not be big enough unless they popped that Prisoner 12. So I think it's okay for now to leave it, but probably something to think about in the future. I feel like Plasma Hand Cannon should double first because it's a preemptive, and then the 500 comes on. So that's how I'd probably rule it in the future.
Okay, so, and I think Diamond lost his timing of rebirth from Black King Prometheus.
Well, no, because Black King's actually in the asset, so Black King's actually not in play. So it actually has to get Perish, so he can still use rebirth later on, but he just has to get Black King out. Now we got the Rocket are going to bring back those Wolfman, which is going to have specialty removal on it. So it gains 1,000 power as well. So probably looking at a 2,800 Wolfman.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, quite. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Diamond's in a bit of trouble with that special removal. Such a weird combination. Dark Planet versus Sky Soldiers.
I mean, I think Eclipse Troopers here are just for so Crystic can do his shenanigans on Diamond's turn, so I think that's the main point of those cards.
Honestly, I will say Diamond still has plenty of go left. It's just about kind of making the most of his remaining resources. His assets getting blown up quickly will be a massive problem, so he's going to have to be very careful. I would not be surprised if we see a Doomsday on the next turn just to clear this board again. But Doomsdays are expensive, so he's going to have to make sure he doesn't, get rid of too much resources. Or too many resources, I should say. Wolfman at 2800. We've got 2400 Star Striker, and then we've got a 500 Heartwing. Was previously Hornwing, but has since had a change, and of course with the new artwork as well. So, we'll see how this goes. Attacking over Clytus now. Diamond's probably going to have to use the Tacticalism to survive, unless he has something else he can... Nope! Clytus is gone. Oh boy. Okay. We might see a... Oh, nice! We're going to get Prisoner 67. So it can only activate while Diamond has no monsters on his side of play, but he can actually... that Prisoner 67 is going to be 2500 with 2 attacks, and Water is going to gain 500 for each prisoner in the Perish pile. And I imagine he's got quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 3k boost. We're talking 4600. That is nasty. And we're in conflict now, so that means the Heartwing specialty cannot activate for Wolfman. Good play here from Diamond. Great way to manage this threat.
Yeah. Let's see if Crystic will be doing... actually here can't board wipe. Warfare will only pop 1 card because there's only Rocketeer on the Parish.
Good point. So, I mean, that's good enough to take care of Water, which is probably the biggest issue here. They can deal with 67. But on the next turn, if Crystic doesn't deal with that 67 with Wolfman... Oh, he's going to do it anyway! He's doing it anyway!
Okay.
So we're going to Warfare anyway on Heartwing. And that means whatever Heartwing blows up, it's going to take... Actually, it will take too many. Because technically, when Heartwing perishes, it will count as the second one. So Heartwing can just crash here.
Okay, let's see if they know the ruling.
Yeah. Diamond looking into second deck, looking into the asset pile.
I mean,
see what they can do about this.
The effect is a maze, so if Crystic forgets, it forgets.
Now, of course, even if Heartwing got spun back here somehow, it will still trigger the Warfare as it is now until when it actually leaves play. Actually, you know what? You're making a really good point here, Minnie. Warfare is until when it leaves play, but before it perishes. So you could argue that Warfare only takes away 1 of them instead of 2 of them. But I guess if it leaves play, it perishes, right? Like, you don't really have a in-between stage, I suppose, but... Yeah, it's interesting.
Let's see how the conflicts will be resolved here.
Going into the asset potentially for Diamond. Now, of course, if Crystic does win this, that'll be the very first player from Canada to win a high-level event in the MonTac Trading Card Game. Major for Crystic here. Of course, Crystic, this is actually their first high-level event as well, so this would be a double win for them. And Diamond Deploy coming very close in the ACT to winning, but just falling short. Now looking at this flash here. Let's see if he can get his first win as well. Both players really want this one.
Yeah, okay. Taking a long time to processing the interactions here. Very critical moment for both players. Let's see.
Thoughts?
Yeah, those players are really taking their time, so what is happening on their heads right now? That's the question.
Alright. So we've got Warfare in field on Heartwing. When Heartwing leaves play, that will block the board. Star Striker in field. Wordle Wolfman at 2,800. Let's see how this plays out. We've got Wolfman looking to not attack. Perhaps they're too worried about what could be the repercussion. Oh, never mind, they're going for it anyway. Wolfman's going to engage 67, and Hammer Down comes down very swiftly to bring Wolfman back down to 1,800. If this is successful, then that's going to be pretty scary. I guess there's also Warfare, but ideally if Diamond can clear Crystic's board first before losing his own, he has a way to make this a bit more okay for himself. He is going to get rid of the Wolfman. Okay, so this means there's nothing left unless they crash the Heartwing. Heartwing's probably the only thing left they can do, which will set up Star Striker with the potential to attack for game.
Yeah, might see another synergy usage here from Diamond, so I think this is a grand finals. The players are really taking their times here, so they have no
100%
after. Okay, Sky Soldier Warfare, board wiping. So we now have Striker going for game.
Yep. Striker is going well. Okay, cool.
Hear you.
Just one double check. Yeah, brilliant. Just one double check. Cool. Diamond looking strong.
Passed
yeah, maybe. But hold on, it does say he targeted Diamond, so maybe, I don't know. Looks like they might be looking for something in asset.
Yeah,
perhaps it was a preemptive pass.
Okay. What will be seen here?
See how this goes. Alright, so still looking. He's going to figure out what he wants to play. Now, I believe that's both Warfare's gone. So there is a way for Crystic to get those back. But it is both Warfare's gone.
Yeah. I think there's still Ruby Blessings. Okay, Scorch of the Dark Planet being played. So will Scorch be playing to defend from wounding? What?
I suppose. I mean, I guess the advantage of Scourge is that you can really use specialty 3 times to drop things by 4k. So, I mean, there's no reason not to do it here. Unless he's trying to revive some Dark Planets later. Scourge is such an interesting play here, though. I mean, what other alternative did he have? I think he hasn't used his Tacticalism, so Diamond is running out of options for sure.
No, he already used the war gear.
Oh, okay.
So,
Right, you are right. You did, because you used that to power up Prisoner 45. And then he had that when he had Black King. Oh, so it's Black King left. It's just Black King and the Dark Planet Apex. Or Dark Planet boss, I should say. Going to Conflict, we've got Scourge. It's dropped it. Has not used it? He didn't use Scourge. Weird. Okay.
So, okay.
Going for game.
I think there is a Lamia angle.
Northern Air General. True, Lamia. Northern Air General also could be done. Oh, we need a Quetzal. Good play. So Quetzal can be played. Yep, allows him to get 750 plus draw 2 cards, so that's going to get Crystic all the cards he needs. So Quetzal should be at 2250.
So a little bit bigger than Prisoner 12. I think Crystic didn't attack on his previous turn, so the Scourge is still in play.
Okay.
So he hadn't
Alright.
its timer.
Players figuring out what they're going to do. Still waiting. Gosh, there's a lot of waiting in this game. Jeepers.
Yeah. Oh, sorry for.
I can see how this goes.
Sorry for my background noise. So.
You're all good. Let's have a look. Still waiting on any sort of play from Diamond here. Jeepers.
Is he
going
to be playing?
Are they still debating over a ruling, perhaps? I'm not sure. Yeah. Something's going on. Maybe they're trying to figure out whether they can use Quetzal or not. I don't know. This is weird. At this stage, it looks like Diamond's in a bit of a rough spot. I don't know if they can get themselves out of it, especially because the fact that as soon as Diamond plays that Dark Planet boss monster, he's going to get it board wiped by Northern Air General. Although I think he has the ability to revive it, right, with Space Buns?
Oh,
so,
yeah. Yeah, totally.
That will be good, but I don't know, I mean, yeah.
And there's still 9 cards in Diamond's deck, so I don't know if it has Space Buns. Both copies.
Definitely a really long game.
Yeah. I mean,
I wonder what they're thinking about.
At least it isn't a Fusion versus Demacos match.
True, that was 2 hours. Gosh, that was horrible. That was old format, though. It's in the new format. It's a lot weirder to have an hour plus game, but I guess because it's a grand final, they want to take their time. Scourge is gone, so I guess you were right. He didn't attack, which is so unusual. Crystic going for potentially what the next strategy will be. Let's see what happens. I always find it funny how players will have the sense to call something insanely broken to be good, and then something to be like balanced mid, and then something to be like probably could use a bit of work terrible. It's kind of funny.
Rummaging Diamond's hammer down.
Okay. Strong, but not insanely strong. And Quetzal has gained the power up. He didn't draw a card though, I guess. That's weird. May draw up to 2 cards. Perhaps they don't want to draw it. I don't know. It's just weird. So hammer down. Not sure how good that's going to be. Only lasts a single turn as well. I guess it could be used in the event that Diamond wanted to. Okay, they're going to use reinforcement anyway. Okay. Weird. So they're going to try and... Oh, so it's shield that's left over. Okay. Right, okay. Why did they add shield? I don't know. There must be some reason. So they've put shield back into the deck.
I think so he can recycle felt.
Oh, okay.
But he could have used it on reinforcement though, but anyway.
I mean, alright, I guess. This is the old version of felt as well, so that still will work. Just because the old version of felt allows it to select itself when it plays another trash squad. So it does look like that could be a very viable strategy. We'll just see what happens. This is weird. Very weird. Very, very slow, I will say. It's unusually slow.
Even for the players level, it's taking a lot of time.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a bunch of ruins going down that we can't see, but yeah, it's really slow.
I mean, if I could have some earplugs to know what they are talking about without leaking the voice on this main other voice channel, would be a really helpful.
Oh yeah, for sure. But we'll have to work with what we've got for now. We've got Quetzal in play. Felt's been sent back. I think Crystic's definitely got this based on the current information we've got here. I'm just not sure why it's taken so long, to be honest.
I mean, there's still Ruby Blessings and calculated gambits for the Sky Warfare, so I don't see many obstacles.
Okay, Dragon Cupid.
That Crystic
finally, we're off to
overcome.
something. That's gonna take... Cool, finally, here we go. Finally something happening. We're gonna see some attacks. Any of these are lethal, so Diamond is forced to respond. You will likely see a prisoner, I think it's called 67. That's the one with the dog. Will likely be played.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll find out. See what Diamond does.
Yeah.
Yep, 67 hits the shield.
A very creepy looking dog to bring back.
Creepy looking dog, that's too funny. And then, yep, gonna bring out water. Water's gonna be at 16 plus the amount of any sort of prisoners. So he's got, I don't know, a lot of prisoners. It's gonna be decent amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Hammer down, countering the water. That's gonna be depressing for Diamond. At least the hammer down's gone. That is tough. So Diamond's going to be in a bit of trouble here. Let's see, we got 15 and 16. Okay, so good thing for Diamond, they don't have... Crystic doesn't have a second monster that's bigger. So Quetzal will likely take out... Who will Quetzal likely take out? Probably going to remove water, I suppose. Why are they shaking things? I'm not quite sure.
I think it's crashing because you can't select for target since it is a diamond.
Okay. Weird, but okay. So that will allow them to use... Wait, will it? Oh, just when it perishes. Jeepers. That's quite good. Prisoner 12 is insane. It allows them to get back another water. Okay, so that will work. And then...
Crystic hadn't wasted his hammer downs because it was Diamond's hammer down to use it.
Too right, but this does mean that Diamond is completely safe. Because obviously in a game, MonTac can't attack the same monster twice in the same turn, unless you have a specialty saying so.
Oh my god. I think there will be some cuts in the final recording, I suppose.
I mean, we'll see. Ideally, it'd be great. Doesn't have to happen, but we'll see. Cool.
Still Crystic. Attacking turn can only attack prisoner 67, who is currently lower than Quetzal.
I wonder why it's taking so long for them to process this play. Perhaps there's technical difficulties?
Yeah.
Can you send a message to see if that's what's happening? Because this is really rough. Really long. Yeah. Weird. Let's see. Talking like 10-minute turns now, jeepers. Who gets... Why would...
Because it
Okay, but when it... Yeah, but it perishes in Diamond's perish pile. Diamond gets it, because it perishes in his perish pile. Just, yeah, say Diamond does, if you can respond to that. I'm not sure why that's a hard call to make. It just, yeah, it should go to Diamond. I'm not sure why Galinia doesn't know, but oh well. It is fine. Here we go. So he's gonna pick that. We're gonna move on. That took way too long to figure out. Jeepers, guys. Alright. Probably have to cut that for sure. Okay, so water's been shuffled back into the deck. What next now, Benny? Where do you see Crystic going?
Maybe attempting to go over prisoner 67.
He will have to risk his Quetzal to do that.
Yeah. Okay, you pass the turn, not risking anything. I mean, I think it's pretty smart here because he can board wipe on Diamond's attacking turn, so he doesn't have a response on his defending turn. And he could play Wolfman on Sky Dark Sentry because its board wipe happens before it enters play, so there's no timing for Sky Sentry to pop.
Jeepers. What are they trying to figure out now? Okay, Plasma Hand Cannon. Looking for a card in main deck. Gonna send out 45. That will give the next Dark Planet a bit of a boost.
Yeah, could be itself. Plasma Hand effect. But has to wait a turn for that.
True. Okay. So they're going to play out a second Prisoner 45. 45 is going to gain the 1000 plus 500, so 1500 boost plus additional attack. That's going to be 2350, which is just enough to be bigger than that Quetzal. I'm just... Oh, 27. Oh, wait, why is it 27? Can you help me out here, Mini? Why is it 27?
I think
why is it 3200?
I think it
listen here.
gets double from Plasma Hand plus 1000 from itself.
Is that the card he already sent? Or is that the card itself? I thought he sent a second one. Okay. Okay, so he's going to gain 1000 of itself. It's double, so it should be what? 8. So 1700 plus 500. Okay, so I see now. So 17 plus 5, 2200 plus another 1000. So it's 3200. Okay, so he sent it for itself. I guess that's a decent combo. It gets a double attack, 3200. Hammer down's probably going to happen here. Oh no. Okay, that's going to clear the board. So now he might get Northern Air General then.
Yeah, he could be getting. I mean, he could use it to get Dragon Cupid enter the battlefield effect, but we won't be able to steal anything because Wolfman will be part of it. But
yeah.
Oh,
Pretzel again.
Pretzel.
Okay. So it's still going to be weaker than that water though, so water can clear it up.
Yeah, and then will be Prisoner 67 going for a wound.
I think so. Okay.
Pretty wild that Crystic hasn't used 4 of his asset monsters yet.
Yeah. It's just a shame that Dime doesn't have a corrosive formula, because just how good would that be against this opponent?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure Crystic. Does Crystic have Titan Destroyer Sword? Don't know if he does.
I think so.
Oh, they're gonna do that. Okay. That's a very... Okay, sure. Okay, so they're gonna go that into Dragon Cupid, which will take probably...
Warrior, yes.
Okay.
It's the only overpower Quetzal.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll take Commander at first, then special move it. And he also gains... Cool. So that will counteract the water. I really hope I don't spend another 5 minutes trying to figure out that ruling. Alright, cool. So it's going to gain... Jeepers. 1500 boost, so it's at 27. Cool. Alright. Diamond, let's go. Okay, infantry. Cool.
I think he'll be using Titan for first effect. Oh, for second effect. He's trying to search it out something. Some barrel tree.
I don't think he's made an attack yet. And isn't Major Quetzal supposed to be 2750 or 2250?
Yes.
Can you message him to add that note, please? I'm not sure why they're not doing it. Jeez.
Oh, okay. Okay. Diamond passed the turn. Lost its specialty and I mean, I think what is the most difficult part to deal against Crystic deck is that he always has a response on your turn, so he feels too vulnerable when he gets his turn back. So
For sure, I think his ability to counter, especially with Dragon Cupid, Fast Track, False Ruler, has been absolutely exceptional in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with how he played False Ruler against Crimson.
Yeah, let's see if he sided out Dark Ruler or not. Pretty interesting here.
Let's hope to see if Diamond's got anything else he can do.
I think.
We may not have any red diamonds left.
Yeah, I think. Crystic still has 2 uses of Specialty Flush, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, he does. But that won't stop the nothing they can do except for hammer down can counter the 45. So he's probably going to have to use that hammer down 45 now.
Okay, damaging hammer down. I think we'll be playing shield for triggering Felt. And is he using first effect? First? No, I think it's second. No, first effect. Since he hadn't target any diamonds monsters, I think he used for first effect, so no one can gain power anymore, I suppose. I mean, I think it's pretty weird that Crystic's holding his board wipes for so long. Like, I mean, Diamond only has, I think, to be honest, Prometheus is a dead card on assets, I think, since Diamond hasn't had Red Tacticals to play again. And Dark Sentry can only play 2 times because of itself and Space Bumps, so I don't think...
Now this is it. Why would you use the hammer down blanket? What do you think, Minnie?
Wait, sorry.
Why would they do that? Can you see that they've used the hammer down blanket?
Wait, I think... What?
So everything says HD? Well, you see how hammer down has 2 effects. One just resets, and one makes it that no monsters can get any bigger. If you have the weakest monsters on the board, why would you use the blanket effect?
I don't know.
Wouldn't it make more sense to drop it down to its original than try to beat over it? It's just such an interesting, a weird decision, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially if he Northern Edge Animals here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, that's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be big enough to deal with Prisoner 45. Mm-hmm. So is he going to hammer down Prisoner 45 as well? Like, that's a double hammer down just to deal with the one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Seems a bit interesting. Okay, so that's going to go over.
Finally attacking. Maybe some...
Okay, so hammer down is getting used to drop it down to 15. Okay, so that means Quetzal basically is gone. I don't know, it's such a weird play for Crystic. I wonder what he's thinking. He must be thinking something, right? I just don't know what it is. He hasn't got the biggest monster on the board. Maybe he's just going to hammer down the one card, but I don't know, I feel like he's kind of limited himself here.
He still have Dragon Cupid, which is bigger than Warrior and 67.
Yeah, I mean, he can definitely clear the other two, but he can't get rid of this bigger one now. I mean, I don't know. It's, I guess it prevents water from getting regened, maybe? That was the idea, just in case, like, water could get all its power back, and then that would be a problem. But, weird. They'll just clear out that 67 now, but Diamond's still got the biggest guy on the board. And it's, yeah, decent. It's about 500 power more than the next card, and he now knows that when he attacks with that card, the enemy can't do anything to power up. I guess Crystic could power up the Quetzal, or sorry, not the Quetzal, the Lamia, but I mean, with what? There's not many cards that do that. I mean, I guess an Outcast Axe or a Rage Release, but I'm not even sure Crystic has those. So, and here's the crazy thing, right? Crystic can't even use Calculated Gambit, right? Like, that requires you to mill stuff. And unless Crystic can put stuff into his deck to then mill it, he actually can't get those Warfares back. So...
Yeah.
I mean, he's got Snide, so he can do stuff, but he'll have to then mill Snide, or... I don't know, it's,
I mean...
It's a bit weird.
Mill... Reinforcement and Snide. So...
We'll have to see.
Reinforcement isn't that useful anymore, since there's no cards in deck. But
Diamond's got the turn. So did they not attack? They didn't attack the 67. This is weird. I'm gonna keep refreshing because I'm not sure what's gonna happen.
Okay, finally we'll be seeing some conflict.
Okay. Finally, let's see some attacks here. That's gonna take out Lamia. That makes sense. Hammer down could definitely happen here. But, I mean, you're just gonna force more cards out of Crystic, so I feel like even if it's a hammer... Nope. So, second attack can now deal with the Cupid. Jeepers. Okay, if this gets through, then... I don't know. This is a really weird game plan from Crystic if this gets through. Getting rid of the Lamia makes sense if you're trying to just get your Sky Soldiers to activate, but if that's not the case, and that's not what you're doing, I don't know. I'm a bit dumbfounded here. What do you think, man? You think you can... Any sort of idea of what's happening? Because I'm really confused, to be honest with you.
I think Crystic play... It's just setting up to remind him of Lamia effect.
Oh my gosh. Don't forget, this could be it. Based on what's happened so far, I wouldn't be surprised. We might be looking at the Quetzal synergy at this stage. That's got multi-attack, but it's like, I guess that could be used here. That would be good, actually, if he goes the Quetzal synergy. He can set, what's his name, 45 to original, and then have a bigger monster than all, and that could be really good. Nothing guaranteed, of course. Yep, there you go, great. So that's set it down to original, only bigger than it. And it has 3 attacks. So that's a good counter, but couldn't he have done that mid-conflict? I don't know. I think I'm just being silly, but I'm shit. Interesting. I think I must be just clearly missing the strategy. Yeah.
Being able to hear the players would be really good for the spectator enjoyment, so you might see it. Okay, now...
Okay, so 35, 33. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to do Doomsday. Right. Okay. So that's going to be used to board wipe, clearing it. Okay, interesting. I don't know. I think I just don't know what's going on because clearly these are really awkward plays. I guess going for game again. Could this be it? Possible, I guess. I mean, if it is, then it's a genius play from Diamond. But I suppose the idea is to force out those assets. Crystic's probably got something big. But I imagine he's got something he can play here. He has to. I guess he has to play Northern. Is that the idea? He's forced to play Northern.
Because there's only Leo needs all. Parish.
You know what? You're a bit of a genius, Minnie, because that might be what he's doing. He's forcing Northern because once Northern comes out, he can play his Dark Planet boss monster, and when Leo hits the field and tries to and then board wipes it, Diamond can just pay the 2 health instead of dying, and then survive. And then all Diamond has to do at that point is bring back his big monster, and that might be enough. Crystic's got False Ruler, right? So I don't know. Yeah. False Ruler just hard counters, so I don't know. This might just be a way that he's trying to force a win. I mean, because False Ruler is not out, it's not in play, so there is a chance that it could be. There's a chance that False Ruler could be stuck in the hand. Okay, thinking hard. I don't know what else there is to think about at this stage. He must have something he can play that defends him.
I mean, there's still fast tracks.
You have to he could sacrifice. You're right. He could play tactical support and then sacrifice it to bring out something else.
Both tactical supports are in Parish.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't have tactical support, but he must have something he can play that he can then fast track into something else, or he could just go Northern General. I feel like Northern General is fine because I imagine he's still got Leo. Maybe Wolfman is in the Perished, right? Warfare is in the Perished.
And both Skyward.
So what's stopping him? I wonder what's stopping him from playing. Let's see. We could have a look and see what he's got. Yeah, I think he's fine. He just board wipes with Northern Air General. Makes the most sense to me. Keeps him alive. He can then play more things later on. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what you got to do, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, MonTac is a very deterministic game, so there isn't many stuff that you can be choosing willy-nilly because you can't play any monsters if they don't have any during either player turn or synergy. So why taking so long here? I mean, players know what each other has, so maybe we are hit a chess situation here. So every player is just calculating 2, 3, 4 moves ahead. That could be something. I mean, we could have a clock style chess for the match, so every player has some time and has to pass the priority by hitting the clock. That would be funny.
Could be. We had something similar to that in the old days, but it was a bit too hard to manage. I'm not sure how we do that in the current setup. Northern Sky General is going to board wipe, and then we've got False Ruler on board, so definitely expected. Diamond's going to have to clear that False Ruler before he drops his Sentry. And the problem is there's probably just another False Ruler waiting to deal with that Sentry. So Diamond is in a bit of a tough spot here. I don't think Crystic has any health gain because he hasn't even tried to gain any. If both tactical supports are gone, I mean, it'd be amazing if Diamond had any way to deal any sort of damage.
I mean, I think corrosive formula should be used more often to punish players who don't have health gain. So you always have something to keep it in check.
I think it's just one of those things as the game evolves and less people use health gain, corrosive formula will get implemented, and then more people use health gain, then corrosive formula will not be as popular, and then it just kind of ebbs and flows like that. Okay, so we're going to go for Felt. Felt has been a pretty big part of the game so far. What he could be grabbing, no one really knows. It's probably just going to be a hammer down, let's be honest.
This health gain situation could be like something pretty similar that happened on Yu-Gi-Oh! Where players have to play around Mystic Mine because there isn't that many back row hate on deck, so Mystic Mine.
Game here. We could see a Black King play, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this could be the end.
I mean, he still has those destroyer swords, so he can shuffle it back and choose not to draw anything.
We'll have to see what he does. I think Black King here would be good. He just has to make sure he doesn't use Black King, because if he does, it's a problem and he'll get it popped. And he has to kill False Rule immediately. Okay, so what has happened? Oh, he's gonna go Scourge! And he's gonna drop the False Rule to 0. That's smart. Okay, so that might have brought him back in the game here, because False Rule pops it. He can still bring back Scourge again.
I think there's still how many uses of Scourge? I think there's still... This is the first one, right?
Well, technically he's done it before.
I mean, on Parish effect. I don't remember... Ooh.
Oh, did he not revive it? I thought he revived it once before. Maybe he hasn't. I don't remember now. I thought he already had done it. So it's going to drop it, he's going to kill it. He can use Scourge again if he wants, but it stops False Rule from attacking because it's 0 stat line. But Felt can still attack. So that actually could buy him a bit of time here, if he does keep up his strategy. And now he could play technically Sentry, or he could go for Black King. He might go Sentry here because False Ruler can't pop it. But I don't know.
And there's still one Leo and one Space Bumps for Crystic.
Yeah, true. He actually has Space Bumps as well, so... Yeah, I think Diamond's going to have to find a way to clear this board. False Ruler can't deal with it. So it's going to have to probably be a pass. I mean, it could be a hammer down to make sure Sentry can't get any bigger. But there won't be anything really that can be done to win the game, I think, at the moment. Unless you get a fast trap. You can't use False Ruler. So False Ruler can only be done once a turn, which he's used to kill Scourge. You can't pop it again. I think he probably knows. I'm sure he knows. Sure he knows. But he can hammer it down, I guess, to get it back up to 1600. Okay, hammer it down to get it back up to its original. Good play. But that still doesn't kill Dark Planet.
Okay. Yeah, I think he used Summer Down to trigger Felt.
Yeah, good point. 3, Titan. They can go back into the deck, really. He can bring out Black King at a later date. The problem is, I guess actually probably if you're smart, you could probably play Scourge while Sentry's in play, and then have them try to take out False Ruler, and False Ruler has to pick one. Yeah, you just kill him with the other. But yeah.
Probably be an out. I think it's very advantageous to Diamond to sack the Destroyer Swords, because since Prometheus still has the Rebirth, that didn't trigger. He has a he wouldn't go card negative, so he still has 2 uses of Black King.
So why are you going to conflict? What are you doing?
Oh my god!
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Oh my god!
Why would you do that? How is he playing Space Buns? He can't play Space Buns in conflict.
Wait.
How is he playing it? How what? How is he playing? How did he play Space Buns? He can't play in mid-conflict. How has he done that? I'm so confused. You clarify false rooms? Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Right.
I think
okay, now I see. Oh, Marine God! Why? Oh, dang, that's gonna be potentially game, I'm thinking. Yeah, that was a bit, and especially with it, jeepers, that is ruthless. Game ends. I think that might be it, people. That is ruthless! That's gone. Gosh, that's ruthless. That might be game.
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
I think he still has Black King, but I don't think he can survive another Leo board wipe here.
Yeah, I'd say not. I think, unless Diamond has some sort of way to deal with that false rule, I think that has completely countered him.
I mean, there's still 2 usages of Scourge.
Jeepers.
So he still has 3 monsters place here, 2 Scourges and, no, 4. 2 Scourges and 2 Black Kings.
Let's see how this goes.
Oh,
going double false ruler. That's a bit, because if he can get rid of both false rulers at the same time, that might be a dangerous play from Crystic to do that. He's going to need I don't know what he'll do to deal with them. He could play Scourge, for sure.
That would be popped.
Yeah, but he can at least drop something. I guess he can.
Use both to add them both to 0, and so he doesn't have to worry about wounding.
Yeah, he could do that. And then he just has to play any monster that's above 0 to kill them. I guess double Scourge, I suppose. That's probably what you have to do here. Double Scourge, and then play a single monster, kill one, kill the other, force the Leo, play Black King after Leo, find a way to keep that Black King alive, and then if they can get rid of Leo, even then there's still Space Buns to worry about, so you'd have to pressure on that turn. It's, oh gosh. It's looking rough for Diamond here. Okay, infantry.
I think he saw the line here.
Oh, Typhon.
Black King.
Black King.
Yes.
Looking to second deck. Black King. Okay, so Black King doesn't actually use his specialty in any of this. Actually, he technically does when he attacks. Ooh, technically he does use a specialty when he attacks, because the specialty states, when this card is involved in the conflict with any monster whose original, hold on, his specialty is actually from Rebellion Breaker, where, let me actually get Rebellion. Rebellion up. Rebellion Breaker gives it the specialty until it leaves. Oh, it's until it leaves play. So technically, it's actually lost that specialty. So technically, he does not have that specialty anymore. That's actually really good. Okay, so Black King completely counters the false rulers here. They can't use anything to get rid of him because he doesn't have any specialties activating. They're not high original power, so his specialty will not trigger. This might force a Leo out. I mean, it depends though, right? He's passing it to Diamond. He cannot pop it. Diamond just needs to play a secondary monster to force out the But he has to get rid of that second false rule. So how's he gonna do it? He doesn't have multi-attack on Prometheus either, so he's gonna have to make the attacks just as they go. Prometheus is gonna engage one of the false rulers. It's at 3k, so it's quite strong. Let's see how it goes. First false ruler.
Okay.
If this does not go through, there could be a Titan Destroyer. He can't. He can't. How's he popping it? How's he popping it? What's activated? Higher. It's not higher. There's nothing to trigger. What's activated? There's nothing that's triggered. Rebirth is not triggered. Yeah, does not trigger. There's nothing to trigger. Yeah, there's literally nothing to have triggered because of the specialty being gone when it left play. That's pretty massive. So he cannot pop it. He's going to have to beat over it, which means I'm expecting like a Titan, but if he had Titan this entire time, he would just use it, right? But I think he doesn't have Titan. I think this Prometheus might be Diamond's key to surviving here. There is a way Diamond can actually survive Leo if he can, basically I think Scourge is how he survives Leo. He takes the health damage, Leo comes through, he plays Scourge, soaks up the Leo attack. Are we going to go Leo now? No, he's not. Okay, I thought he was going to play Leo. I was like, jeepers, guys. Alright. So it's in Crystic's best interest not to play Leo here. Crystic cannot even kill Prometheus unless he plays Leo, in which case he will lose because he needs Leo to be afterwards, so he can't lose that false ruler. This is good.
I think he still has a Space Bombs play, so he can preserve the Leo play.
True. But something to be aware of is Black King Prometheus comes back on the following turn. That still hasn't occurred yet. Still has not perished. So Diamond gets it back on his next turn, which is pretty big.
I hope he remembers.
Crystic can specialty move it. It does nothing though. Specialty moving it does nothing here. The point of Prometheus is the stat line. That's all that matters. Just the stat line.
But wait, does... yeah, so Rebirth is not a specialty.
Correct.
Does
nothing. So, and Prometheus has not yet perished, so it will not trigger yet. So, I mean, Diamond could always just forget Rebirth is a thing. But I think he's also taken it off the board because he doesn't want to remind himself, he doesn't want to remind Crystic that's how it works either. Because you don't actually have to keep it in play if you don't. It's just it goes straight to the perish pile. So there could be stuff that he can kind of keep track of in his mind that Crystic will not know. I think this is really good towards the end here. Definitely was really slow towards the middle of that match, but they've picked it up from this point. Going to Lancer. So Lancer. Okay. Basic monster in play. He can't use it to pop Prometheus. It's not a basic monster. Lancer can only pop basic monsters. So he's going to have to kill his own false rule if he wants to do that. He's going to have to kill his own false ruler, and because he's met the condition, he's now going to have to kill his own false ruler. Because he cannot actually kill Black King. And because he does still have a valid target in false ruler, he's going to have to kill his own false ruler. That is probably one of the biggest misplays. Is it up to 1? I think he actually does... Oh no, technically it says, and you may. So it is a may. So he might have just wasted it. Interesting.
Okay.
Dang. Okay, so he's not going to pop his own false ruler. Luckily for him, Black King is looking strong at the moment. Safe to say that play might be the way that Diamond gets his way back into this game.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
Oh my god.
It's going to depend. I think it really depends on those cards in Crystic's hand. Hammer Down does nothing. Marine Guard can delay the inevitable, but won't really win the game. He's probably got a flush or something. He's just used Lancer. He doesn't have a power up because if he did, he would have already used it.
And I
doesn't have Destroy Sword.
And I don't think he can use Flash again because maybe he has a second Marine Guard.
Okay, Calculated Gambit will be a problem. So Calculated Gambit is a problem. That's going to allow him to mill 2 cards to add back Warfare, and that will be an issue. Granted, are you really going to crash the False Ruler to then use that Warfare? Probably not. But perhaps he as a weaker monster felt that he can crash to force that. If he revives, he can still revive False Ruler. Revive Black King. But if he revives Black King, then he can't use it later on for a stronger endgame. So this Calculated Gambit here is going to be nasty. I wonder what he grabbed back. I imagine they would have told us, but it doesn't look like he's made that decision yet. I think Calculated Gambit, you can actually... it has to be from his Perish pile, so...